College students are always listening to music. It is a trend that has spiked over time with advancement in phones and portable music players. Students have learned to multitask by listening to music and studying at the same time. But are they really getting the most out of their studying? Let's see how students think listening to music affects their performance.
The main finding, there's been a lot of research on this, and it was really all sort of inspired by something called the Mozart Effect. And this was a study showing that people who listened to Mozart music while they were doing some kind of cognitive task, something like an SAT test or an IQ test, they perform better after they've been listening to music rather than just sitting in silence. Basically what it does is it increases your arousal, which is to say it makes you more sort of energetic or more attuned to what you're doing.
Sometimes I'll listen to songs without lyrics, so I have like a relaxing piano playlist on my Spotify and I'll listen to that, or I have some other albums that don't have any words.
In general, I listen to a lot more jazz and soul, really because it's more mellow, not as lyric dependent, and I find that's really helpful for doing writing and analyzing text than music with lyrics for those things, and then just a lot for the brain to process.
So yeah, I think it definitely depends on what kind of work I'm doing and what kind of space I'm in.
I definitely feel that in terms of music helps me get in the space of writing certain things. An example would be that actually this week I was writing a paper about the Black Civil Rights Movement, and I was having a hard time getting into it, but then I just started listening to some James Brown and just like even like modern day songs about race and social justice and stuff, and it really got me in a world of that idea and those type of issues, and it really helped me actually start the essay. Once I started it, then I turned it off because it was just too distracting, but it helped me get in that world and in that mental state of mind.
Realized this year that I have to be in complete silence when I do work because it's just personal. But if I turn on a song, I'm gonna start singing it in my head. And yeah, I think when you listen to music, it should be when you're doing something fun, not when you're doing work. Work should be, dead silent, quiet time.
I found that more of my friends listen to music while they do work. But for me, I can't. Like even classical music or instrumental music distracts me too much.
A lot of people do work with headphones in. I usually do work with headphones in, but I just have nothing playing, just so no one bothers me.
I think all students are different with how they learn and how they work. I know some students who listen to like heavy metal when they do homework.
I think about when I was in calculus class, all I would do was listen to very hard electronic music. For some reason, that would get my mind going and would help me with all those math questions. But then if I went and did, say, science homework, I really had to focus. I'll put on just rain music in the background. Because if I started to listen to lyrics, I'd focus too much on the words.
So, I would say that in general, listening to music is something that will get you motivated, give you a little bit more energy, and in the process, it makes you maybe more attentive to what you're doing in your schoolwork. So there does seem to be sort of consistent findings across the board in psychology.
Oh, like a broken